Viruses. We've all had them. Whether it was that game you downloaded or the email you opened up claiming to give you a free iPhone, they take over your computer, steal your information, then replicate somewhere else. But what's the history behind viruses? What's their purpose? And how do they work? The very first computer virus was made in 1971 by a man named Bob Thomas. The virus was an experimental program that self-replicated and could infect computers that ran the 10X operating system. It was built on the backs of other people's theories, such as John Neumann's theory of the self-producing automata. Soon after, MS-DOS was becoming a very popular OS and had been targeted with many viruses. One such virus was the brain virus that infected sectors of the storage, rendering them inaccessible. In 1986, the first Trojan virus was made and called PC-Write. This virus claimed to be a version 2.72 of the word processor PC-Write. When run, the virus would wipe out the file allocation table and reformat the hard drive, deleting all the saved data. By the end of the 80s, viruses started to adapt, and instead of making programs that would be run, they would now start affecting already existing program files on a computer. In 2000, one of the most infamous viruses was made, the I Love You virus. Worked very similarly to the Melissa virus, but was much more dangerous because it could delete media files such as MP3s, JPEGs, etc., but would then go on to replace files on the computer with copies of itself and send the same email to people on the victim's contact list. Viruses are mainly designed with negative intentions, since most, if not all, viruses use your computer with a malicious intent. Bitcoin miners, for example, are viruses that mine digital currencies without you knowing it. Worms are viruses that duplicate on your PC and use it as a hub to spread to others. Other viruses steal your personal information or delete all your data. While most viruses are purely for the pain of other users, some viruses such as ransomware require a user to pay money to the creators of the virus to retrieve the lost data. There isn't really a cost for a virus, so I decided to research the cost of an antivirus program. From what I found, most antivirus programs are free, but a minority of programs such as Bitdefender provide extra functions such as behavior-based detection and vulnerability scans for around $20 to $50. The most common types of viruses are email viruses, Trojan horses, and worms. Email viruses work as an attachment to your mail and replicate by mailing themselves to people from your contact list. Trojan horses are simple computer programs which claim to be an application they're not, but do damage to your computer instead. Trojan horses cannot replicate. A worm uses security holes to replicate itself. A copy of the worm scans the network for a specific security hole, copies into the machine, then continues replicating from there. As our computer safety rapidly increases, I think that viruses will have to be programmed to be able to combat higher security devices, naturally meaning that viruses will take longer to create and be harder to learn how to make. Thank you for listening.